Don't not be Thibodeau. And here it comes. It's about to come in. Oh my God! They didn't. They took Sauce Gardner. Oh my God! They don't want an edge. Maybe he likes Jermaine Johnson at 10. Then we're not going to get a wide receiver.
Garrett Wilson, wide receiver.
Oh my God! No edge.
Was sitting there
The Jets traded up. The Jets traded up. Are we taking JJ? Are we taking JJ? Because I know Braden is in New Zealand saying, we should get Lily, Mike. He's definitely saying that. JJ! We got Johnson! We got Johnson at 26! We got Johnson at 26! This is great! Yes! They took Roger McCreary. They didn't take Dean. We traded up. We can get to Kobe Dean. We can get to Kobe Dean. It really is. They took Breece Hall. They took Breece Hall. Wow. I mean, look, I love Breece Hall. But there's also Jeremy Ruckert, who I think is the best tight end in the class personally. They took Jeremy Ruckert. They took Jeremy Ruckert. Yes. We got a Jeremy. We got a Jeremy. Oh, and the Jets pick, and it's Max Mitchell, offensive tackle. We needed that. That's wow. We took Michael Clemens. I never heard of him. A defensive edge. Well, hello. This is Jeremy. This is Jets Chaos. And it's also Brooklyn Brothers Food Review if you're watching on that channel. And if you're watching on my Jets Chaos channel and you want to flip over and watch on the Brooklyn Brothers Food Review channel, you're free to do that. We're doing that because we're trying to build up that channel and we need the watch hours. So if you're going to watch anyway, do it from the Brooklyn Brothers Food Review channel. We got a couple of great videos up there. I am not here alone. I am joined by Tony, the GM. What's going on, Tony?
How are you, Jeremy? What's going on?
I'm doing good. I'm hearing some disturbing things, though. Got a lot of people out there that continued to insist that we should take a quarterback this draft. And you know what? I'm telling you, I'm turning to you because I'm just not so sure that with that first round pick, if we have a top 10 pick, I'm not so sure if there's any quarterback we're going to want to take with that top 10 pick.
Well, as I told you before, Jeremy, I think that this quarterback draft is not that good. I only see one first round quarterback. We did a film on him already. If he decides to come out. We're going to take a hard look at every quarterback, draftable quarterback this year.
Well, you know who's a really big one that I think we should look at today that I'm hearing a lot about? His name's a young fella. He's not that young. He's pretty old for college, but he's compared to us, he's a young fella. Goes to the school, a little school, not very known. Nobody's ever heard of it. It's called Miami University. His name is Cam Ward.
Cam Ward is a 5-year player in college. That basically makes him a NFL rookie playing against college players, correct?
Well, that means we'd expect him to be pretty good and pretty dominant.
Exactly. And he's shown most of his growth already. It's a lot different taking a 22-year-old fifth year compared to a 20-year-old.
Right. There's a lot more experience in a 22-year-old.
So we're going to take a hard look at him. Now, we're going to look at, you don't want to look at highlight films and make a decision on a quarterback. You want to look at highlight films to see if you really want to keep on going and looking at the quarterback to see if there's anything draftable in those films. You want to look at every play from the kid has ever made in college. You want to look at, obviously, pressure plays. You want to look at all his bad plays and interceptions. You want to look at every touchdown, see how they look. You want to make sure that he's hitting a route tree. You need to put a lot of work in drafting a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to take, if you're looking at a quarterback, you want to shut the volume and you want to look at the film. You don't want to hear what other people have to say. You need to make your own major decisions. Okay. The experts, you don't want to hear paid for advertising on a quarterback. Okay. You need to make your own decision when you're drafting a quarterback as a GM. correct?
Right. Right.
And that's what we're going to do. We'll start with Cam Ward today. Now we're going to do multiple videos on each quarterback also.
Sure, sure. I mean, this is just an overview look at Cam Ward. I would love to in the future. I got a bunch of games where we could watch all 22 and drill even deeper. So we're not just watching, highlight films and things like that, but we're watching what does he do on all the plays that you don't see when you're not watching highlight films.
Exactly. Now that's a major point because that's what people do. They fall in love with one particular play, and they think it's standard consistently all over his tape. That might be the only play he's ever shown like that.
Right.
And it's right. You see that as a hype job for most quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what highlight films are, right? Highlight films are to boost, it's trying to people jack up, a player and make them look great and try. It's almost like a marketing pitch, right? This is why they're not going to put the ugly stuff in there. And they're certainly not going to discriminate and say, let's not show this play because they weren't under pressure. They're just going to show the touchdown pass and they know that most people are just going to see the touchdown pass. They're not going to dissect the play. They're just going to think, oh, he's a great quarterback or he made a great play. Even if it's a freaking 30-yard, pass to a wide open receiver that any high school quarterback would make.
Right. And you got to watch that too. You're going to see a lot of throws in these videos that are to wide open receivers on a highlight film that 99% of pro quarterbacks can make, 89% of college quarterbacks can make, and 50% of high school quarterbacks can make.
Right.
Right. That doesn't define you as a draftable quarterback.
Right.
Right. You need to really do well in film review if you're looking at a quarterback. You need to separate your precious throws, your bad throws, your bad plays. You need to look at every single touchdown, see what they look like. And you really need to look at the route tree if you can make every throw. Right? Everybody's looking at X's and O's. You could teach X's and O's. Right? Correct, Jeremy?
Yeah.
You can't teach progressions, being able to look at different, you can't teach vision. Certain things a quarterback is born with. They're a natural quarterback. A lot of these quarterbacks are man-made. What I mean by that is that they work really hard to get where they are. They're not a natural quarterback. They're not a Marino throwing a football, correct?
Right.
Right. So they work really hard to get where they are. That might take them up to a college statistic, making statistics in college quarterback. That doesn't take you into the pros.
Right.
Right. So that's what we're looking at. Now, you want to start with the film?
Yeah, let's take a look at this kid.
Now, we're looking at multiple years, correct? 22, 23, 24.
Yeah, so let's look at 2022. Let's go back and look at him when he was younger. People think that doesn't matter, but of course it matters. We want to look at tendencies. We want to look at how he's evolved over the years. So this is when he was playing. People don't know this. He played for Washington State.
Now, the level of competition. How many quarterbacks came out of this division over the course of history? It's not a lot.
Right.
Right? Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, yeah.
Herbert, Goff.
Yeah. And you can see just from the first play, they're showing some highlights of him running. But here, let's watch this play just to get an idea of who he is in 2022.
Okay, he steps back. He has all day.
He throws a nice little flat pass.
Right. A nice little out on the sideline.
Okay. I'm not running to my GM and saying, hey, we gotta, but also not bad. Just okay. Fine. Executed the play, had lots of time, wide open pocket, wide open player, did what he was supposed to do, threw a nice pass.
Okay, time out, Jeremy. We really need to talk about a draftable play and not. When you're doing this from a protected pocket, this means absolutely nothing. when you're looking at drafting a quarterback. When you're looking at drafting a quarterback, you're looking at a quarterback. You're looking for a player that's going to make 5 or 6 plays in an NFL game that are different than everybody else.
Mhm.
That's what we're looking for. Any quality coordinator could scheme a 55% completion percentage.
Mhm.
A great offensive coordinator
Mhm.
could scheme by himself. He could scheme a 62%. We're
Mhm.
looking at the quarterback that's going to make the 3, 4, 5 plays that's going to put you over the top.
Mhm.
Now that particular play right there has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Okay. Let's see if he gets one here. Looks like a standard pass, which is fine. He's doing it fine. So far, 1 speed. So far, 1 read. We should point out.
You could look at every play. That's what you're looking for.
Look, he's looking.
He doesn't like it.
Ugh.
Now he's running wide open player.
Right.
It's not a draftable play.
Well, that play, no, he did his job. He did fine, but you don't draft the guy because of that.
Now, if you're looking as a runner, okay, we're not looking at Fields, Jaden Daniels, or any other running quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're looking at somebody who has 500-600 yards in his career over 5 years, I believe.
Right. The question, what I'm looking for, is he ever under pressure, and what does he do when he's under pressure? So far, he's just has so much time. Well,
now look at this play. They'll probably show it again. Okay, time in the pocket. It's a nice throw, but it's not a draftable throw. You also have to remember, when you're looking at this, he's not playing top-level competition. You need to look at it in a view of a top NFL defense. Is this going to work against the top NFL defense? Hey, look at this.
yeah, he wasn't covered. He wasn't covered.
Right, exactly.
Right. He wasn't even
Okay.
covered. So, I mean, and it's not a strike against him, because he made the play. He did what he was supposed to do. But it's like, you can't go to your GM and say, this is what, or if you're a scout and say, this is why we have to draft him. Because you're saying we have to draft him because he threw to a wide open, uncovered guy. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, yeah, every college quarterback, if he doesn't make that play, you're like scratching your head and saying, how is he a college quarterback?
Okay, now look at this play right here.
A lot of pressure.
You're looking for pressure. Okay, this is a pressure throw, and it's a dump off to the running back.
It's a
right?
check down. Right. So that's,
Right.
again,
Now,
got rid of the ball on time, did fine. I'm looking for, this is a highlights of the game. I'm looking for reasons to draft him.
right. Now,
Right.
that's not that might be his second best pressure throw in 5 years of football.
Right. And it was a check down.
Right.
Like, it's not like he was under pressure and threw it 20 yards downfield.
Exactly. That's dangerous. Okay. You know, what level team is he playing right now?
I don't know
Okay.
what Idaho's defense is like. They're not
No,
a ranked
it's
team.
It's not a top college program, obviously.
Right.
Right.
It's Idaho.
But you got to remember, you got to bring that up to the pros. You got to bring it up to a top level college defense, then a lower level pro defense, and then a high level pro defense. Okay. There's a big difference there, Jeremy.
Right.
Okay. What about real NFL pressure? You need to be able to see if you can handle it.
Right.
No, you can keep on rolling.
Yeah, this is all Yak. All he did was throw a little flat pass, which is fine. I mean, I think what people have to remember is we're watching a highlight film. So we're saying, well, we know every place is going to end up successful. What we're looking for is, we're looking for a play that not every quarterback would be able to make. Right? We're looking for someone who's special.
Okay, now this is a nice throw, but no, it's wide open.
The guy is wide open.
And
He's
he
alone.
has a wide, he has a protected pocket. So far, we have not seen one draftable thing for this kid.
Right.
There's nothing wrong. I mean, he's a young quarterback in college. Okay, I mean, hopefully, as he goes along, we see more draftable tendencies. Correct?
Right. Right. We're just looking for a play that says, "Wow, that's something special that not every quarterback's going to be able to do." Now, here he is under pressure. He's under pressure. He's running for his life. And he finds somebody that now it's a nice play. I'm not going to take it away. That's a play. I'd like to see that. I like to see that while he's scrambling, he could find somebody that's open and get them the ball. That's a positive play for him. So that's a play that I will check off and say, okay, there's something there in that play. Right?
Right. But so far, you're looking at highlight films, and we saw, a
Right.
pressured check down and another scramble thrown to an open receiver.
Right. Right. Okay. No, we're understanding this is for an entire season. So we have two plays that look like if I had to go to somebody and make an argument for them, these are the two. Those are the two plays so far I'm the most impressed with.
Okay, keep it rolling. Okay,
Probably
this is his most impressive play right there.
Right. That's beautiful. Touch pass.
Okay.
Touch pass under pressure.
Right. Now the problem is that this is, as we said, against lower level competition. You need to replicate. Now, when you're looking at these game films, what's happening with a real pro cornerback? A lot of these throws, if you make great throws as a lower level division, are not completions in the NFL. Correct?
Right. So I'd say he has 3 plays so far. One of them is certainly like the argument of draftable on that, a draftable play. But that's one. We're watching all of his highlights from an entire season. There needs to be a bunch. All these other ones are just regular football. There's nothing extraordinary.
Okay, now, when you're looking at this, he's scrambling, guy right in front of him.
Right.
This is normal for him. This is tunnel vision. Look at his footwork. He's not sliding in the pocket. Okay? He's trapping back and that's it. If he doesn't like it, he's leaving the pocket. There's no in between.
Right. The guy was alone. He was alone. The receiver was alone.
Okay, but you understand what we're seeing here, right?
Yeah. Right. I mean, these are all okay plays. That's fine. He's a good football player. Fine. We're not looking for a good football player. We're looking for somebody you're going to use a first-round draft pick on.
But this isn't a draftable. None of these are draftable plays. We just said it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make 3-4 quality, big-time throws in a game in the NFL that separate you from the rest. So far, we've seen one. And this is from a year-long highlight film. Now, also, look at him throw deep, Tommy. Are you seeing any in these videos so far?
I don't see anything very deep downfield yet.
All right. You got to look at process and how long it takes to process. There you go. A little bit of pocket coming in, and he hits a stationary receiver against lower level competition. Again, not a draftable throw.
There's downfield. He had all day, but nice beautiful pass.
Right.
I like that. Yeah, look, the argument right now we can make for him is if you give him time, he's definitely a dangerous quarterback. If you give him time and somebody breaks open, he'll get the ball back.
Jeremy, you got 2 throws so far, maybe 3. Okay. He does throw with touch nicely down the field on one-on-one if you give him time. Like like he's the missing part of Zach. The throws that he never made.
Right. Like, look at that. He can make the vertical throws. Zach can't
Right.
make that
The
throw.
the shorter vertical throws, if you give him a pocket, he can make those.
Yeah, because that was nice. Under pressure, drops it in. That was beautiful.
Right.
So he has about 4 now. 4 plays that I'm impressed with for this season.
Well, one of them was a dump off under pressure.
Right.
Right. So he got 2 nice vertical throws. One of them under pressure. Those are the ones that you're looking at.
Right.
Are you seeing it?
Yeah, well, I'm seeing. I mean, like, again, it's not a criticism. He's doing his job. It's just not. I'm just not seeing these plays. Aren't. Oh, I have to draft them.
Yeah, but you don't see the lack of pressure.
No, I see, but that's not his fault. It's not his fault. His team is good.
I understand, but you got to remember this is highlights.
Right.
We need to look at the actual pressure throws when he is pressured. I've only seen 2 pressure throws so far.
Right.
2.5, maybe 3.
Look, he's got 5 minutes for this one. He had 5 minutes. Oh, and that's not a good throw. I don't care what anyone says. That was a horrible play. He had 5 minutes and he underthrew that guy by 8 yards. That should have been an easy touchdown in the end zone. Why would you include that in the highlights as a positive?
Okay.
That was awful. I'm sorry, but that was awful. I mean, he has all day long. He has a guy wide open. He had a guy wide open. You can't be more open than this. And look, he pulls him back. The guy has to go backwards to get the ball. Awful.
Okay, now hold on. Put it on pause.
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't seen anything resembling throwing a receiver open. We haven't seen anything in a NFL quarterback, right? Other than that one precious throw to the left. That was that was a nice throw.
Right.
The thing is, he holds the ball way too long. He's not processing the field. Everything's on a one read. It's on a first read.
Yeah, there's a guy who has a problem who wants to say something to you, and this is the funniest thing to me. Why are we acting like that Nix is a star? Like, everybody is brainwashed to think that Bo Nix is a star because he's doing one thing in an offense that's completely schemed for him, and he can't do anything outside of Sean Payton's designed offense that he's so limited to. And if you actually don't look at the box scores, but look at the player and look and watch him play in Denver, he is the most limited quarterback in the NFL. He is brutally bad. And anybody who's watching him knows he's bad. And the only thing he's doing right is throwing these little chip passes. It's kind of like Macaroni Jones, the New England, Mac Jones, when everyone thought he was good because he was playing in an offense custom designed just for his limited ability as a quarterback. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Arbiv. You might think Bo Nix is good. I'm telling you, let's see what happens this year when he plays even when he played against the Jets, look how bad he looked. Wait until he plays against a real defense in a game where Sean Payton's specially designed offense doesn't work for him. So Bo Nix is not a good quarterback. And I believe that will be proven soon enough.
Time out. Bo Nix is probably making 1 NFL throw per game. You need 4, 5, 6.
Right.
Everything is schemed with him.
Right.
Okay. If you look at his actual film, he has a throwing lane, he has protection, he has an open receiver. that conversation. We're gonna do a Bo Nix special just for him.
Right.
Okay. And a couple.
Thank you. Thank you for the
super.
super chat, Arbiv. We will do a follow up on bonus, but
Just
and
for you.
just for you, and
Okay.
and we'll look at the touchdown passes he's throwing, what he's doing well, and you tell me that you can't throw anyone, any NFL level quarterback in that system in those situations. Let's find out how many plays Bo Nix is making that any jag can't make. Anybody in what you're watching, if you just don't look at the box score and the highlights that make it look like that's all he's doing. Watch the games. Watch what this kid does anytime he tries to make a real NFL throw. It is not happening. He is brutal. He is so bad. Just like maybe not as bad as Cam Williams though. Williams made a great play yesterday. I'll give him credit for that. He made a beautiful drop pass, nice touch in the end zone, beautiful touchdown pass yesterday. But that, but hey, man, even a blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes.
There's actually Cam Ward. I mean, not Cam Ward. Williams is talented.
Yeah.
Because we're worried about his head and certain things that we missed that we don't like on him. We'll talk about that another day.
Yeah. Takes off.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, great athletic ability, great running quarterback, fine. But is that what you're looking to draft?
Jeremy, no, hold on. He's not a great running quarterback. Daniels, Fields, Vic is a great running quarterback. This kid only had 500-600 yards. He just took off. He had open space in front of him.
Right.
Okay. He's not. I'm telling you, when people say he's a running quarterback, that's not what you're looking for.
Right. Look at that. Oh, he threw a pass to a guy who was not covered pretty much. It's like, let's draft him with the first round pick because of it.
Okay. The danger here with Ward is he's one read and he runs.
Right.
That's not good in the pros.
Right. That was just a design running play. Credit the offensive line for doing a great job and opening things up for him. Just scanning through here. I mean, this is a highlight film. Look at this. He has 5 minutes. Can't find anyone, takes off.
Right. Now, this is consistent. Now, is this going to work against the top NFL defense?
Well, it's just not realistic. Now he's finally under some pressure. And look, he's athletic. He's going to make good plays. He's going to get away. Even in the NFL, it's fine. But it's like, that's not, you're not, any quarterback, anybody you put in the position of quarterback is going to make some good plays. It's fine. We're looking for someone, though. Everybody's complaining, right? We want to have a great quarterback. When are the Jets going to have a great quarterback, top 10 quarterback? When are the Bears going to get their top 10 quarterback? Well, you need a guy who's going to be more than just making some plays. Like, you need a guy who can do everything.
Did you see that touch pass on the sideline?
Yeah.
Right. You know what? It's a nice pass.
Yeah.
Okay, but you need to have that particular throw. All the good ones we've seen, you need to have 3 or 4 of them.
Right. All we're asking for is more evidence, because you're asking to draft a guy. You're looking to draft a guy with such a valuable asset. You're looking to give your number 1 pick, top 7 pick in the draft, let's say, and I think what we're saying is the reason most quarterbacks, how many quarterbacks are picked in the top 10 every year, right? In a lot of years. In a lot of years, you have so many quarterbacks picked top 10, and how few of them pan out to even be a good quarterback. So what does that mean? That means is that people are not demanding enough and valuing the pick enough. You're just rolling dice. And we're just trying to distinguish, when is it rolling dice and when do you actually see more evidence that a quarterback has the skill set to succeed in the NFL versus I'm looking at a highlight tape and the guy has a lot of yards and box scores, but you're not considering the level of competition. You're not considering how much time he has in the pocket. You're not considering the fact that
maybe in college he's able to succeed with one thing. But in the NFL, that doesn't translate. You need to be able to do everything. So that's all we're saying. Cam Ward, none of this is bad. Looking at his highlights is fun. He has a lot of talent. He's doing some good things. But how many of those things are NFL worthy? Like where you say, oh, that's going to work in the NFL. That's what we're looking for. As much of that as possible. We saw a couple of plays like that. There's no argument. But we're looking at an entire season of highlights from him. And we found a couple of plays that make you say, oh, okay, that's really good. And meanwhile, we've looked at guys like, we've looked at guys like when we looked at Jaden Daniels last year that had 5 plays like that every game, 3 or 4 plays like that every game where you said, oh my God, that's a guy who could be an NFL quarterback.
Exactly, Jeremy. Okay, now you can't turn it from a highlight film. This is what people do consistently. And I'm not seeing it with this kid. He's a one-read quarterback. You could see he's staring down. My question to you is...
Yeah, Motivated T, he might be great. But you're saying he has 3 years of starting. Okay, what does that tell us? That tells us he should look really good right now. You're saying he's a Heisman finalist. Who cares? Tim Tebow was a Heisman winner. Who cares? That's what we're saying. We're looking at the wrong thing. Forget about the big stats. Forget about the big numbers. We're showing you that in 80% of these plays, he's throwing to wide open guys. That any quarterback, why is there so many colleges, programs that play against inferior competition where every year they have an NFL quarterback? Or is it just that any real quarterback who's in the system is going to look good? Because they're thrown to wide open guys and they have tons of time. I do not know that Cam Ward is a bust. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, and I'm questioning along with Tony, do we have enough evidence that he's doing anything special that's going to make him good in the NFL? Because I'm watching a highlight film where 90% of it is anyone can do it. Anyone. So it's like, that's why it's so hard to pick a quarterback, because you can't fall in love with something that everyone can do. You have to wait for it to be, I want that guy who can make every kind of throw under pressure, touch passes, everything. Now, I love that pass from Cam Ward, that touch pass that he threw just now. We saw before. But that's one in an entire season. I'd like to see some more. He could end up being a superstar quarterback. We don't know who's going to be great and who's not for sure, right? We're just saying that if you're going to make a draft pick, you want to pick a guy where at least you have a lot of evidence that they're going to be able to be that guy. And anybody so, and I agree with you, Motivated T. No, we don't have evidence that he can't. But, and I agree, we don't. He might end up being a superstar. We don't have evidence that he can't, right? We do have evidence that he does one read right now. Do I have evidence that he can't go through progressions? No, I don't. But you're talking about using a number 5 pick, overall pick on a quarterback. You're talking about spending a giant pick. And we know that 80% of quarterbacks fail. And we're trying to figure out why they fail. Why do 80% of the quarterbacks that are picked in those top 5 picks don't even work out? Why? What are we doing wrong? What is the league doing wrong? What are they evaluating that's wrong? There's no evidence. But how do we make it more than a dart throw? If the Jets, for example, are going to use a top 5 pick on a guy, do you want it to be a dart throw where it has a 20% chance to work? Or do you want to find a system to evaluate players that's more effective? And all we're saying is, if the evidence is not there, how do you justify making the pick?
Okay, Jeremy, real quick. We talked about the division this kid's playing in.
Tigo, we're getting there, Tigo. We're starting with Washington. We said that. It's like, did you watch the Miami tape? It's worse when you watch the Miami tape. The Miami tape is worse. We're starting when this is the best tape I've seen of him. The Miami tape, he's really throwing a wide open guys.
Okay, time out. Now, go back to this division that he's playing in right now. Herbert,
yeah,
Goff, Andrew Luck, Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. No, I'm not going back 20 years. Obviously, you have Rodgers, and I think you have one other one. Okay? How many of them will one read and run quarterbacks? Zero.
Right.
Okay?
Right. I just want to make it clear. I'm not saying there's no evidence that he won't be a great NFL quarterback. That's not what we're talking about. But if you watch the Jaden Daniels tape, the film from Jaden Daniels, and you watch the film from Cam Ward, we could pull out so many more NFL draftable plays with Jaden Daniels than you could with Ward. That's the only point we're saying. That's what we're saying. We're saying when we looked last year at the tape for Daniels, there were multiple passes where he threw at different speeds, where he threw touch passes, where he threw vertical passes, where he threw in the middle, where he threw under pressure. There were multiple plays like that. So many more than we're seeing with Ward. That's the difference. Does that mean Ward can't end up being a superstar? No, he could be a superstar. But we're looking for evidence because we're using and we're spending such a valuable pick that you want to use it on somebody who has lots of evidence. Am I making sense, Tony?
You're making sense, but I'll tell you, you got to look at tendencies, guys, when we're looking at quarterbacks. You have to see, we're not seeing the entire route tree. We're not seeing, now, you can't blame a kid because of the system he's in college, okay? But we are not seeing deep outs. We are not seeing anticipation. We're not seeing throwing a receiver open. We're seeing completed passes to wide open receivers. This is what we're seeing in this tape. I am sorry. At this point, he's not draftable. To me, I'm not wasting a premium pick on this kid. I am taking him, not for the Jets. If I'm an NFL GM, I'm taking him later in the draft to see if I could develop him. Because I do like the fact that he works hard. He put a lot of time into his skill. Okay? That's something that you could sit behind a quality quarterback and see if he could do A, B, C, D like a pro quarterback.
And I think that's a good thing to say and to remind people when we're doing this, we are not determining whether or not these players can end up being good NFL quarterbacks. We are just trying to determine if they're worth a top 10 pick. We are taking the highest touted quarterbacks out of college. The quarterbacks people are talking about picking with their first round pick. Some people saying that he's a top 10 pick, top 5 pick. And we're just saying, are they really have that value? Is there enough to really value them at that high of a pick? That's what we're talking about. No one is here saying that, oh, we don't think Ward should ever be drafted in the NFL. We think that he should just be like an undrafted free. We're not saying that. No one is saying that. We are not saying that he is not a quarterback who's out of college who should be drafted. We're saying that if we were a GM and we had the number 5 pick in the draft, are we convinced? Do we believe that Cam Ward is a smart pick with that? Do we have enough evidence, or is there too much risk that we're wasting that pick? And what we're saying right now, and that's the case that we're making, and you could disagree, but don't misunderstand the case that we're making. We're not saying he can't be good. We're saying is we're trying to find players in college that have a higher percentage or a much higher chance of being good. We just want a better hit rate. Right now, no one can argue it's not working. The NFL is poor at it. It is piss poor. The majority of top 10 quarterbacks, first-round quarterbacks, fail in the NFL. That means they are failing. People wanted to fire Joe Douglas because of Zach Wilson. Remember, they said, oh, look, he deserved to get fired. He missed on quarterback. They all miss on quarterback, except for the ones who don't, and that's very rare. So what we're just saying is, before we jump and get all excited because Cam Ward has a ton of highlights in college, let's take a deeper look and really look at how many of those great plays are because he's an NFL quarterback and he's great and he's so talented and everything, or how many of them are just because the same way so many quarterbacks look good in college, because they're playing against inferior competition in a great circumstance where anybody can look good. That's what we're saying. And the proof is nobody who could like Cam Ward didn't like Vince Young. Like you're lying if you say I love Cam Ward and think he's gonna be a star, but I knew that Vince Young wasn't. But Vince Young, who played for Texas years ago, why didn't it pan out for him? Because he was playing with superior talent, and we looked at his box scores. So did I, and we got all excited about his highlights, and nobody really looked to see, is he making NFL draftable throws? Is he throwing at different speeds? Is he throwing the whole route tree? This is what we're trying to solve. And we will be wrong, and we will not be 100%. But Tony, as far as Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and I think JJ, when he gets the opportunity, he's not injured to prove it, he's making you look really smart based on your analysis from last year.
How about Zach Wilson?
And this started because you guaranteed from the beginning that Zach Wilson didn't have the tools and he wasn't going to be successful, and you were definitely right. I give more credit to you for picking out the quarterbacks that are like ranking Jaden Daniels, nailing that. I give you more credit from that than knowing that Zach Wilson wasn't going to be good, because anybody could say any quarterback's not going to be good, and they're going to be right 80% of the time, because 80% of the quarterbacks are not good. Like, you know what I mean? It's more impressive when you pick a quarterback who ends up being good. Like me and Tigo, we picked CC Stroud over Young. So we have bragging rights for that because we picked him, right? We picked the guy who actually made it. Now he's a really good quarterback in the NFL. We deserve credit for that. You know what I'm saying?
We got a lot of tape, Jeremy. Let's bring up every touchdown tape. That's the next year, 23.
Right. I don't think that, Chico, I think you need to watch more about what we're saying, because I don't think that Mahomes is would you have been anti-Mahomes based on his college tape?
No, I would not have been anti.
You're not paying attention to what we're saying, Tigo.
Mahomes might be throwing, check down ball, okay, playing at 4 yards a game. The kid could throw 65 yards from his knees.
Right.
Okay.
The idea was that he had college tape that showed he could make every kind of throw on the field. And that's what we're looking for.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, so Mahomes is an example of exactly. Now, I'm not going to sit there and claim we would have been tooting Mahomes' horn, because everyone's going to say, oh, bullshit. Of course you're going to say that. But comparing Cam Ward to Mahomes is a bad comparison, because if we went back right now, I mean, maybe we'll do a special where we'll look at Mahomes' college tape, because we've done that for Justin Herbert. We've done that We've looked at the tape of other quarterbacks that have made it and went back and looked and showed, like, that's the evidence we look for. There was the evidence in college that you're looking for. We've shown that. Like, so we have done that. Mahomes, I'm sure if we did that tape, we would see the things we were asking for. It wasn't just a highlight film of ridiculously easy plays that any quarterback could have done.
Right. Now, you need to look at progressions, too. You need to see scanning the field. We're not seeing it with this kid. That's a major no-no when you're drafting a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, again, Chico, you're not listening. Yes, Zach Wilson could throw the ball out of the stadium. He didn't say Mahomes was good because he could throw 65 on his knee. He said Mahomes is good because he could throw screen passes and 65 yards on his knee and touch passes. The point with Zach Wilson is, if you look at his college tape, first of all, find me plays where Zach Wilson, because I didn't do this. I love Zach Wilson, but I didn't do this at the time. Find me how many highlight plays. Find how many plays out of BYU where Zach Wilson was under pressure, right? So find me his good passes when he was under pressure. Next, find me his vertical passes, sideline vertical passes. I'm not talking about when he runs to the sideline and is throwing in front of him, but from the pocket, throwing to the side of the field, down the sideline with accuracy. How many plays in his 2-3 years at BYU can you find me where he does that? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about what a quarterback can and can't do. We're talking about, or what a quarterback can do. We're talking about what we don't have evidence that they do. There was no evidence that Zach Wilson could throw a 40-yard pass down the sideline, in route, step by step, in route, literally from the pocket. Like, it didn't exist when you look at his tape. 90% of his passes were no pressure and firing directly at the player or a guy running across the middle.
time out, Jeremy. Exactly what you just said right there. The last 20 words out of your mouth
Hmm.
makes you a not first round quarterback. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what the issue is with drafting players in the NFL. And you just described it perfectly. If you cannot complete the route tree on tape, if you cannot throw under pressure, we just saw 1.5 throws under pressure on a highlight film. That is absolutely horrible. Okay?
Well, I don't want to make people think it's horrible to grade him as a first round pick. It's not horrible in his skill set. It's not a knock on him. It's not his fault he has time. But it's horrible to think and to grade him a top 5 pick when you've seen 2 passes where he's under pressure. Like, how do you do that? How do you draft a guy with a top 5 pick when you've only seen him under pressure twice? Like, how? It's the NFL. It's not going to look the same.
Okay, we're going to go to the next film, but one question for you. Are you spending $30 million of your owner's money on a gamble on this quarterback?
Right. And again, Tigo's bringing up Bo Nix. Bo Nix can we wait until he has a career first? Bo Nix is yes, he has a great coach who's putting in a system, just like Mac Jones his first year had a great system. I get it. When Sean Payton's not around, what is Bo Nix going to be? Bo Nix is a horrible quarterback. So who cares? You could take 30 quarterbacks and Sean Payton could coach them and they could do what Bo Nix is doing. Let's not pretend that Bo Nix is a playoff quarterback or he's doing anything so spectacular. He's not. You're talking about a system that you had to build specifically for Bo Nix's limitations. Okay? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if he develops, and he develops. But it's the same thing with Mark Sanchez's first 2 years. Oh, he's good. He's good. He wasn't good. We built an offense around Mark Sanchez that hit his deficiencies. So he was able to look okay. And as soon as the offense changed and we weren't just run the ball every play, and we actually needed Mark Sanchez to be a real quarterback who stepped back in the pocket and passed, he was a disaster. And I'm saying that Bo Nix is a similar type of guy, just like Mac Jones. Everyone thought Mac Jones was so good his first year. He didn't regress. They just built this system around him. Chip, chop, chip, 5-yard little passes, get rid of the ball fast. And guess what? You can't sustain an offense that way. You're not going to win a Super Bowl with Bo Nix playing 5-yard football doing it. You can make his numbers look really good. You can even find a way to win games if you're an amazing Hall of Fame type coach like Sean Payton obviously is. But if you think Bo Nix is that he's already proven to be a success, maybe you need to go back and watch the tape because in most games, he's horrible. He is not good. And I'm saying he's horrible because he can't do everything. He can't throw the whole route tree. He's limited.
Jeremy, we're doing a tape on Bo Nix as a special. Not on a Friday quarterback one, but we're doing another one on Bo Nix. Let's go to every touchdown throw from 23.
Yeah. He's saying, he's saying he didn't look good, Mac Jones. What are you talking about? He had the same kind of numbers Bo Nix had. It was the same thing. It was like he was looking efficient and good because he was having a baby. He was being babied, just like Bo Nix is being babied.
Jeremy, we got a lot of film.
Okay, we got a lot of film. I know. What are we looking at next?
Every touchdown from 23. We just did 22. Now, what is this? This is a positive outcome play, right?
Right, we're looking at his best stuff now. We're being so fair. We're looking at his best stuff. We're not trying to find, one day we're going to go every play of a game and we're going to look at the not so great stuff. Right now, we're literally showing his best stuff. And we're just saying what we're not seeing, like what we want to see in a quarterback. And you know what? No one is saying, Tigo, that our system is perfect and we're going to be right about every quarterback. We're just saying for the last 1,000th time, if you're going to use a top 5 pick, the evidence should be there. Okay, and maybe you'll get lucky, and even though the evidence is not there, the guy will be a success. Fine, but why would you want to throw that dart? Anyway, let's go.
Okay, Jeremy, let's take a look at this. We can't go on to those tangents on this.
Okay. Okay. It's just that they're not listening to what we're saying, and it's very frustrating.
Okay, what tape is this? Is this the touchdown?
This
tape?
Is every touchdown from 2023. Every touchdown.
Okay, a rollout.
Nothing wrong with that. What? Yeah, it was in front of him. And no one's saying that's a bad thing. Okay, we're all acknowledging that Cam Ward can roll out and he could throw a guy in front of him. We're all acknowledging it. Like, look, he could do that play to a guy who's running 3 yards open. Like, great. No one's taking that away from him. Like that play right there. Fine.
Time out. Hold on.
Are you drafting him because of that
Put it
play?
in pause. Time out. Okay.
Yeah.
There's high school quarterbacks who make these two plays.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
there's nothing difficult about these plays. It's not his
Here's
fault
what's
though.
wrong with drafting a quarterback.
I'm looking for a reason to want the Jets to draft him.
Right. We're looking for reasons to draft a quarterback. We're not
Right.
looking. This is something that every quarterback could do. That is not draftable. And we need to get that out of our mind.
I will say
Okay.
one positive thing about that play, even though anybody could have made it. At least he adjusted his ball speed. That was a nice touch drop pass. Like, in other words, he threw the ball. He didn't fire it in there. He's able to control his ball speed. He saw the guy was wide open. He was able to throw him a nice little catchable pass because he recognized that he didn't have to drill the ball.
Okay, now in 22, we saw maybe 4 draftable plays, 3.5, something like that,
Yeah.
on a highlight film. We didn't go look at his bad plays yet.
We haven't
That's
looked
on
at
another
we haven't
day,
at,
right?
looked we haven't looked at anything bad. We're looking at his
Right.
we're literally looking at his touchdown plays.
Okay, let's go.
We're looking at his best film. Okay. He's under pressure now and running, so that's good. In motion running. I mean, look, that was a great play, yes, but at the same time, he also found the guy who wasn't covered. Right? I mean, look, he's alone. So again, that's not a criticism on Ward, but is that going to happen in the NFL? So, and you can make that argument. Okay, if we draft Ward and he's running and there's a guy who breaks free in the end zone who's not covered, we could trust that Ward's going to throw him the football. Great. That's great to know. Fine. I'm happy knowing that. I'm happy knowing he could throw that short pass to a running back who wasn't covered.
Look at. I want you to look at the separation on every one of these plays. And this is 3rd division football. He's
Right.
playing again.
And there's nothing negative about it. Like, there's nothing, it's not bad that he's doing it. It's just, I'm not going to my GM and saying we have to draft him because he can do it. Like, you know, like, this is just all okay. This is all good. There's nothing bad about this. It's just that there's nothing here that tells me 1st round draft pick, top 5 pick.
Jeremy, there's absolutely nothing so far that we saw that says he's a 1st round draft pick. And we're looking at every play. That was one read and run. Okay?
Right. And he
Not,
might.
Roger Vick running the ball.
Right. And he might. And you know what? He might. It's a dart throw. He might, just like any quarterback drafted might, he might end up being a superstar in the NFL. That's not what this is about. This is about, because we're not looking for might. The New York Jets cannot afford to throw away this pick.
Okay, now that was a seam play.
Which is
Okay?
nice.
That was the first one in 2 years that we've seen.
Right. It was beautiful.
Okay, but what did I just say?
It was the first one.
Right, and he's wide open. He's threw it, on a line. He hit the kid. It's not over and in front of. He had a lane.
No. Hey, look, like he had an hour on that play, right? And he threw a nice pass with that time. He was able to find the guy and drill a pass in there. That's fine. I'm not saying this is not a draftable quarterback. I'm not saying I wouldn't use a 2nd round pick or a 3rd round pick. We're talking about a top pick. That's the difference. Like, he's making good plays. Yes, he deserves to be drafted into the NFL. He deserves to have his opportunity to be a starter in the NFL. Not saying that. Not saying that he.
How much time and where he's going. The kid has tunnel vision, Jeremy. He doesn't have vision. Okay? Everything's the same exact thing. The success rate for this, that's a jump ball. That's not a draftable throw.
Well, I liked it. I like guys who are, because I think it shows that he wasn't afraid to throw into traffic.
Yeah, but it's still not a draftable throw.
That was pretty good.
If you're looking at this, you're throwing it up to a receiver. You contested catch.
I don't know. I did like that pass. These other ones are fine. These other ones are just superior coach, superior team. I mean, that's how it looks. Like it looks like it's just okay. There's probably 50 other college quarterbacks you could have called that exact play and you would have gotten the same result. Right? Which is not his fault. It's nothing against him. It's just a reality.
Put it in pause again.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have here? We have a protected pocket. We have a one-read quarterback. If there's there's absolutely zero pressure on every one of these touchdowns. Are you following this? What I'm saying here?
Yes.
This is also against weaker competition. You can't translate this to the pros, John. You can't.
Right.
You could put him on your bench and you could work with him to see if there's something there. This is a 58. When you look at the Miami tape, it's a 50th kid. Okay?
Right.
There's absolutely nothing here that makes him a first-round quarterback, what we've seen so far. Absolutely nothing. And I'm being blunt. If you're trying to sugarcoat it to make people in the comment section happy, I'm being blunt.
I know, no, I'm not being blunt, but we're not going to be 100% in agreement. Like I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I'm just trying to say that I will never hold, like, yes, there could be a reality that these are all plays that any college quarterback could make, but I don't see that. I mean, that's enough for me to say I don't have enough evidence to make a first round pick and use it on Ward. But I'm also not going to sit there and say I have evidence that Ward's not going to be a great quarterback. Like he might be.
Time out. Based on what we've seen so far, you are the Jet GM. You are there at 5, 6, 7, wherever we pick it. Are you pulling the strings on this kid?
No, because not because I think he's bad, but because I don't have evidence that he could be an NFL quarterback. You know the difference? The difference is I'm saying, no, I don't have enough evidence that I would use my number 7 pick on him. But at the same time, if somebody does take him, I'm not saying it's impossible. Like it might just be that he played for a good team. Maybe if he played for a shitty team, he would make those crazy throws under pressure. I'm just saying we don't know. So I wouldn't take him because I don't know, but it might turn out that, yes, he would have made those great plays.
Okay, time out. You got to remember, we're looking at positives only here today.
Right. No, I get it.
Okay, we're going to go look at his real game film and look at the pressure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy was wide open by 5 steps. So,
okay, but he hit him in stride.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass. It was great.
Okay, that's a good throw. That's what you want to see there.
Definitely.
That right there makes him more draftable than Zach Wilson. I'm sorry.
Right, just that. Just the fact that he did that. But Zach Wilson, people think, oh, he did throw deep down the field. Yeah, 54 yards, the same distance every single time. That was the only deep ball he knew how to throw. He lines himself up with a player, and he could throw the ball 55 yards, and that's all Zach Wilson was. He never threw it 40 yards in stride to a player. He never threw it 58 yards to a player in stride to a player. He could only throw the ball at a player 55 yards exactly down the field. That was what Zach Wilson could do.
You good?
Yeah, we're watching right now. It's playing, isn't it? I'm just waiting for I'm waiting to be impressed. Like, fine, he did a good play there, but any quarterback would have. That was his first read. He was open, made a nice pass to him. Then the player did the rest. The receiver did the rest. Look at all this time.
And then he runs because his guy, he makes space and directly in front of him. Okay? The
Yeah.
scanning of the field is not there, and this is third. The great ones, the real great ones that you want to put a first round pick on, okay, they could change the vision on the play, and they could factor in speed. They could factor in everything. That's another nice touch pass. This is the only thing that I'm giving this kid. He could throw a nice touch pass from a protected pocket. Okay.
Right.
That is a nice thing.
Right.
But we got to go look. This is against. That's not a good. The kid. He's turning his head now. He's still looking for the ball. Are you watching this?
Yeah.
The quarterback. Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Is that throw working against the pros? You don't know. Against the real quarterback.
Well, that's the question. I mean, it's okay for him to have 5 or 6 great plays. This is an entire season, every touchdown pass. Some of them are going to be impressive. Some of them are going to be very good. And that's fine. But people have to realize that was like in that game, that was one play from that game. One play. Out of how many times did he throw the ball? 35? And you got to look at the situation. Is he doing it under crazy pressure? Is he making throws that are difficult that other quarterbacks wouldn't be able to make?
Okay, put it in pause again. How many pressure throws have we seen in 2 years so far?
Like 3.
How many was a big time pressure throw? 1.
One was a big time, but there were 3 times he was under pressure where he made a nice completion.
Right. Now, what do you think we're going to see when we look at his real tape?
We're going to see lots of times he's under pressure where he's not making the play.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, we're comparing now. I had Tigo before he left comparing Daniels to Nix. Like, oh, but their numbers are the same. But better than that. Their numbers are the same. Like, are you kidding me? Jaden Daniels is playing a full NFL offense. You're not limited. They're running a full offense with him. Where Bo Nix is, you're limited to a nickel and dime Mac Jones New England Patriots offense.
Are you seeing it? This is a nice throw. But then again, what was it? Protected pocket directly in front of him. Mm-hmm. This does not work in the pros, Jeremy.
Yep. So, well, he went to a second read at least on that one. So that was nice.
How many times have we seen that?
That was the second time I've noticed him going to a second read.
Right.
Look, he was looking one way the whole way there. Made a beautiful pass, though. Tons of time.
What is that again? Okay, it's the same exact type of throw. This is the missing piece of Zach Wilson right here. This is the opposite end of Zach.
He does everything Zach doesn't do.
Exactly.
He throws beautiful screen passes, and he throws deep vertical passes. It's funny. He is the opposite of Zach Wilson.
Now we're at 6.
Look at that beautiful touch screen pass. That's what Zach couldn't do. It's so funny. Who cares about the running plays? All right.
I think we're up to maybe 6 plays over 2 years that you could show a quarterback.
Yeah. We're pretty much done with that. That was it.
Okay, now we're going to this year. And we're looking at the positives, correct?
Whoa. Jersey Jet, whoa. I'm looking at a different screen, man. Hold on, chill out. I'm looking at a different screen. I didn't see your comment because I'm looking at a different screen. I got into it with Tigo because I know Tigo was a guy who's pro-Ward. I'm not ignoring you. This isn't as much an interactive chat. We're looking at video. I'm looking at a video screen. So if you want to, I don't know if you want to go, I guess go, but I can't Like I'm looking at the screen. You don't understand my side of this. I'm not looking at the comment. I'm looking at the comments when I hit pause and I come back to the screen. I'm on a different screen right now, Jersey Jet. I appreciate you being a member, but like, give me a break. Like, if you've never run a show, you don't know what my situation is. And as you see, I'm getting to you. I just needed like time. There's 8 watching it. Okay, so that was just a complaint. Do you actually have a question? Let me look. Sounds like a private conversation. Okay, wait a second. LR isn't the best quarterback in the big one. What am I missing? What am I missing with Drew? I'm not calling him bad by any. I help him understand the LR. So you're asking why we like Drew Aller. Well, we have a whole video that talks about why we like him. Like we there's a video that why we like him. What we like about Drew Aller is Drew Aller does not have a clean pocket with all day long to pass. Drew Aller has lots of film where he's completing passes under heavy pressure. Drew Aller makes every throw on the route tree. He changes speeds every pass. So you're not seeing the same thing. Drew Aller goes through 2-3 progressions at times. Drew Aller doesn't have a superior wide receiver that's wide open. Drew Aller is throwing into guys that are well covered like you do have to in the NFL. So that's why we like Drew Aller. And again, it's just saying that we see more evidence that Drew Aller is doing things that are more realistic of what you have to be able to do in the NFL. So hopefully he's still here. And that was the answer. I answered the question of what he was asking. So anyway, I can't do better than that. Okay, what's next, Tony?
The 24, this year's highlights so far.
This year, the 24 highlights from this year so far. Let's look at it. I do want to say that some like again, I don't want to act like we're taking credit away from the good things that he does. Like there's definitely been a few really good plays. We're not denying that. No one's saying he's not a good player. Like that play, he did nothing wrong, but like there's nothing to criticize. But you also can't draft him because he threw a ball to a wide open guy. Like that's all we're saying. People don't get it.
I want to put in a pause again.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a draftable play.
Of course not.
If you're looking at this play and thinking that's a draftable play, if he doesn't make that throw, then you can't draft him. Okay?
Right.
He needs to make that throw.
Of course.
Right.
If he doesn't make that, if you have a quarterback who doesn't make that throw, he's not starting for you in college.
Correct. Now the problem is that you need to find reasons to draft the quarterback. So far, from 2 years worth of highlights, this is the third year of highlights. We found maybe 6 above average plays that could translate to the NFL, hopefully, okay? To translate to the NFL. Because he's doing this his first 2 years against subpar competition. Now, you need to envision him making those couple of great plays against Darrelle Revis, okay, or Patrick Surtain, because he is a one-read quarterback. This is exactly what I'm telling you. Now, let's keep on going.
He's got a lot of time, and look at this. The guy's not covered. So what does that mean? Did Ward do anything wrong? No. But you're going to draft him because of that? You're going to say, "Oh, we got to draft this guy." When you give him 5 seconds of time in the pocket with no pressure in the pocket, and you have a wide open receiver not covered running down the field, his number one read, the guy he's supposed to throw the ball to, he makes the play. Let's draft him in the first round. But people look at these highlights and they look at the box scores and they think that they have to draft him. That was in
Well, where was
traffic.
the
So
ball
I'll give,
again?
I'll give him credit for that. There was nothing wrong with that.
Right, right. But where was it?
Right in front of him.
Exactly. That's tunnel vision, Jeremy.
Off script play.
Right. Right in front of him.
Off script plays could be very nice sometimes, but it's like, are you going to draft a guy for off script plays? You know, like it didn't work. It didn't work out with Zach drafting a guy who likes to go off script. I want a guy who could drop back, go through the progressions, and make a nice pass. Man, he had all day long on that. Makes a nice run though. Great athlete. No argument
Put it
there.
in pause again. He's not going to a second read. You saw two plays in 2 years of highlights. This is the third year on that he actually looked at second place. It's not going to work in the pros.
And here he is against Ball State. So remember, that's who he's.
Okay, no, wait, time out. It's not going to work in the pros, what I just said.
No.
No, okay. We need to see evidence of things that could work in the pros if you're going to draft them in the first round.
Right. Like that was one read. Guy's open. Plenty of
Wide
time.
open.
Makes a good pass. Fine. You know, am I drafting him because of that?
It's right in front of him, Jeremy.
Oh, look, they got a commercial now in this one. Can I skip it yet? Yeah. All day. That guy was waiting for him to throw it. Like, come on, throw it. In the NFL, that gets knocked down easily. That's like an incomplete pass in the NFL. I'm sorry, it just is. It's just an incomplete pass in the NFL because your guy's not going to be that open. I mean, on that, it was a beautiful pass. I don't know, but I mean, I'm not going to draft him because he could throw to an open receiver.
Larry, now that's a nice touch pass.
That was my favorite of the whole season so far. So of all the plays we just watched, that was my favorite one.
Okay, now, but right. Did you notice the pocket?
He was fine. He had a clean pocket.
Right.
Okay, some pressure. He just got lucky. He threw it up, and it looked like the defenders ran away like it was a mine. They actually ran away from the play.
Now this is his great tape from this year. This is the draftable tape.
Right. This is what everybody's going so crazy about. We have to draft Cam Ward. We have to.
One read, another seam pass. Where is it, Jeremy?
Right in front of him.
Where was the pass?
Right in front of him.
Exactly. Have we seen him attack the sidelines yet?
No, but I thought he could throw vertical down the sideline if he wants to. We've seen that in the other years.
We're talking about deep outs, okay? Not going vertical route straight. Okay? Another nice touch pass on a vertical route, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Switch it to a top NFL corner. Now, this is Virginia Tech. Wait until we see every throw on Virginia Tech. Another nice throw, correct?
Yeah.
Where is it?
In front of him.
Directly in front of him. The kid has tunnel vision. Okay? Very nice pass.
Beautiful.
He has tunnel vision. The kid can throw a football, but he's not processing fast enough.
I like look how open that guy was. I like the speed. I like that he throws it, that he makes it catchable. Like he knew he had the guy 20 yards open. He knew that there was no one there, broken play. He was smart that he threw the ball and made it very catchable. Like I'll give him that. He floated it right in. He left no doubt. He made it that the receiver could not fuck that up. So I'll give him credit for that. Because there's nothing worse. There's nothing I hate more than the guy's wide open and the quarterback drills the ball 90 miles per hour at the receiver. The receiver is shocked by it because he's not expecting that and then doesn't catch the pass. And we all blame the receiver and say, you got to catch that. But did the quarterback really have to throw it 90 miles per hour? So I appreciate the quarterbacks who change the speed, which he is doing. all day long. All day long. Nice pass,
Another
though.
nice touch pass.
Nice
The
touch pass.
same area of the field, Jeremy. Do you notice that?
But you don't think this is enough to show he could have success in the NFL?
No,
The,
definitely not.
the fact that
Jeremy.
he could throw those touch passes vertically?
No, definitely not. You know how many? Okay, put in a board.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many touch passes like that you get in a game
I don't
in the
know.
NFL? 2 or 3 a game on that
Hmm.
vertical. He's running a straight vertical route. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
on those type of routes, you get a handful of attempts a game. Okay, this isn't top NFL competition, Jeremy. You're not going to get that view. You're not going to get that protected pocket. Make sense?
Yeah.
You got to look at the whole picture when you're looking at a quarterback.
Right. It's not there. He takes off. Look, he's at college against inferior competition. He's a very good athlete. He's going to look really good running the ball. Right. But we've seen it a million times, with a million different players.
Jeremy, he just took the land that they gave him. He just took the yardage they gave him.
Right. Wide open.
Again,
Wide open.
no pressure.
No pressure, wide open, which is fine. He did the play he's supposed to do. Like, nothing wrong with it. Fine. Good job. Fine. But I'm not drafting you because you could do that. That's all we're saying. Like, look at that. I'm going to draft him because of that play. I mean, this is like touchdown. So many touchdowns he got this way. I mean, and people want to use a top 5 pick on him. It's crazy. They showed that one 10 times over. Like it was the greatest play in the world. Very nice.
Yeah, but what is it again?
Right in front of him.
Protected pocket.
Protected pocket. How
This
many?
is not working against quality NFL. You know, the kid can throw the ball. The kid obviously put the time in.
Right.
But you're not looking at NFL tight windows. The process and time is the problem, Jeremy. Okay? He's taking too long to pull the trigger. He can't look at a different view of a different play. Okay? He can't see the field. He's only processing what's in front of him. And it's taking him too long to pull the trigger. Okay? And what does he have there? How many moves did he make on that run? None.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
Right. That's his running ability. What happened when we saw Jaden Daniels run the first time? We almost had a heart attack.
Right.
He was great.
It was amazing.
How are the comments doing? You checking on them?
I haven't had a chance. I mean, now I'm not going to waste my time fighting with Tigo over Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels. If you don't know that Jaden Daniels is much better than Bo Nix, then you just can't be argued with. Like, you're just in your own world. You're living in a different planet. And if I'm wrong and I'm proven wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But somehow I have a feeling that at the end of the day, in 5 years from now, no one's going to be comparing Bo Nix to Jaden Daniels.
You want to add it to the end of this video?
What?
You want to watch the New Orleans game at the end of this video for Bo Nix?
No, that's okay. We'll do it another time.
Okay. Keep on rolling on this.
Okay, let me go back to that.
So are you seeing what I'm telling you with this kid?
I'm seeing that. It's what I'm not seeing that's the problem.
Right, exactly.
I just want more of, and again, it's not his fault. He's not under pressure. That's not his fault on these plays. But the question is, when we look at the full game tape and we look at every play from one game, how many times is he under pressure where it's just not a highlight and he's not able to do it? Like right now, we're only looking for evidence of how many instances there are. We're going to look at Cam Ward where we look at a full game, maybe 2 or 3 full games, where we're looking at not just the highlights, But we're going to look and see maybe the rest of that game he's under pressure 15 times. And maybe you saw that one highlight where he got the touchdown, but you're not going to see the 14 times where he couldn't do it. So I think that that's what we have to remember here.
Now, this is another wide open touchdown.
Well, it's just, clear as day. Like this is good play. There's nothing wrong with play. It's just I'm looking for plays that make me say, "Oh my God, we got to draft this guy." I understand you have this good receiver who's able to win contested catches, and you're able to fade back into a clean pocket, and you're able to throw the ball up to him, and he's making plays, and that's all nice. There was him getting tackled and hit, and luckily he had a guy wide open right in front of him. If there isn't,
it's a nice extension of a play.
Yeah, he extends
Right?
plays. He's a good athlete. He's a very good athlete. He's going to make really good plays, especially in college. Because in college, a lot of these plays, when you extend them, they break down the defenses, even in the NFL sometimes. But like in college, you're seeing how open guys get when you extend the play. They can't maintain the coverage. No doubt he's a great college quarterback. I love him. I love watching him. Like he's a fantastic. Whoa, what the hell? They're playing my I gotta stop sharing.
I got a couple of good pizzerias in my neighborhood. I'll tell you on your other show one day. I got a great Italian restaurant too.
Yeah, people are looking for great Italian food. So
okay, now let's dig real deep here. Let's go to an actual game. So over the course of 3 years, I'm seeing maybe 8, 9, 10 plays. You're looking at 36. This kid has how many games in college, Jeremy? Geez, he's got 50 games then at least, correct?
Yeah, he has like so many football games. I mean, he's a fifth-year super senior playing. Yeah, he should be in the NFL right now, playing against NFL players, and he's playing against college kids. So is there anything else you wanted to look at?
Virginia Tech.
Every throw against Virginia Tech?
Right.
Okay, this will be a little bit different because now we're not just looking at highlights then. So now we get to see everything, not just great plays.
Now look at it. Look at everything. Okay. What happened there?
He was under pressure.
Right. Exactly.
He still got the ball out though. I'll give him that credit. Okay. So that was okay. Nothing to brag about. It's a dump off. I know. I'm just saying he did the dump off. He did the play the coach wanted to play, and then he got sacked.
Forget the fumble, okay?
Right.
Could you bring it back to beginning of that play?
That's what I'm doing.
This is a one read play. One read. You can't find anybody, and he takes off. This is what his tape looks like. Okay?
Right. When you're not looking at highlights, when you're not looking at 3% of his overall plays, this is what you're seeing.
Now, we looked at 3 plays in a game. One was a bad throw, and one was a fumble.
He has all day here. All day he had. He had all day on that. Now he's a good athlete. Took advantage.
He's staring. Nice throw. This is the same thing.
That was the highlight. We already saw that.
Hold on. Put it in pause again. This is the same throw that he could make. Now, what happens if the NFL figures out that's all he could do?
Right.
They're going to defend against it, correct?
It looks hard to defend, though, to be fair. Like the one down that sideline with the touch, like how do you defend that any better?
Oh, well, no. Your guy is better than their guy. You're not doing that against their pain, bud. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, some people do. We don't know that he won't. I mean, some quarterbacks do actually, some receivers do beat NFL cornerbacks, right?
Now, look at the amount of times. So far, he made 2 nice throws in this. He had a nice team touchdown.
Right.
Okay. Right. Look at the types of plays that they're running with this kid. All day, we saw this one already.
Right. Right. We don't care about it. it's like, okay. Oh my God, he's Patrick Mahomes. Didn't you see that?
There you go. He's gone again. Okay, you got the first down. But this is exactly what you're going to see. It's not going to work in a pros, Jeremy. And we saw that play again also. This is the second time we're seeing it, correct?
Yeah, he's really good though. I mean, like what we're seeing is though that he definitely, unlike our friend Zach Wilson, like you're right, it's the opposite player. He's really good vertically. Like that's
But
his
only
that's
those
his thing.
routes.
That's what he's good at.
All right? Did you see that? The same thing. You give him a throwing lane, and he could hit that. But this is not NFL competition. You got to be able to do it under pressure. There's absolutely zero. We saw only 2 pressure plays, and he did not look good so far. That one was nice.
That was beautiful.
Right.
I'm drafting him. Second round.
It was right in front of him, Jeremy.
Oh,
What happened there?
Uh-oh. He threw an interception. Let's look at the pocket. Try to figure out what happened there. Okay, so
Look at the pocket. What happened was he started up the middle of the field, and then he turned right and he looked there.
so when he tried when he tried to go past the first read, it didn't work.
Right. Now, with the amount of processing speed it takes this kid to look and throw, they're going to be doing this all day long in the pros.
It does take him a long time to make throws. Like unless it's a design play, like a dump off, that's something we should pay attention to. It takes him a long time to finally make the throws.
Did you see that under pressure?
Yep.
Put
Yeah.
it back.
He just threw that away like it was a hard.
Oh, but wait, see if his arm was hit there. He didn't throw it away. He threw it into danger.
Okay, so first was this dump off pass, which he's fine at. No one's saying he can't dump it off. He was under pressure. Yeah. So
Right, he was under pressure.
right, and
That's an interception in the pros.
he had time this time. He ran backwards to be. I mean, that was a nice, sweet play, but man, it's not going to work in the NFL. See, when the guys are well covered and not wide open, it's not so easy. Under pressure, takes the sack. You don't see this in the highlights. Every quarterback's going to throw picks. Every quarterback's going to get sacked. So we're not
But the thing
crucifying.
is, you notice under pressure here, what's going on?
Right. Every time he's under pressure, bad things are happening. Good job getting rid of it.
Right. Now, you notice that guy was wide open right in front of him, right?
Right. And he didn't see him because he was running for his life. This is the danger of watching highlights only and not getting to see all of it. Like you don't want to watch only his bad. You don't want to watch only his highlights. You just want to be informed. You want to see everything. Had some nice time there. Almost makes a good pass. But not every you're not gonna hit on every one. I'm not gonna crucify him for that. See what he does here. Oh, he's got pressure. Crumbles. And he's looking one direction, guys. Notice his helmet's not moving. One read.
What's going on here?
Well,
Flag, okay.
he's got a PI though, so that was good. Not that that was a good pass though. I mean, I'll credit that at least sometimes he'll throw the ball. I mean, we look at quarterbacks who just, if they're not wide open, they won't even throw it. I mean, at least this guy will show that he has the heart and the balls to throw the ball and to try, and try to make the play, even if the guy's not wide open.
Right.
Yeah, he gave up and bailed on that. I mean, in some cases it works because he's a good athlete. Wow, I thought that's fast motion. I was like, wait, what just happened now? That was just showing the interception.
Was that on the tip, right?
Yeah, that was on a tip. You got lucky
Could
there.
have been intercepted, correct?
Could have been. That was tons of pressure. Wow.
That was another tip, right?
Well, that was just throw the ball up for anyone. You don't want your quarterback doing that. I don't care that it worked out. You do not want your quarterback doing that. That was very bad judgment.
Well, it's either there's at least four interceptable plays in this one game, right?
Yeah.
Now, remember when we compare, put it in pause one more time. You want to even out the playing field for the level of competition. He's playing Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech has 2 draftable interior defensive linemen and 1 draftable quarterback. One D tackle might go in the second round. You're looking at the second, third, fourth round. Okay? Now, this is the first team with some semblance of a real NFL player. We're talking about 2 third-round defensive tackles, basically.
Yeah.
Okay? You see the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
He also has the pressure of playing from behind in this game, but it's only the third quarter. Yeah. Lots of different situations. I mean, that's the whole point, right? We want to see him. We want to see him in different situations, see how he reacts and responds to different things. Just like I take away, I say I'm not impressed with certain plays that he does well. There are plays that don't work out that I'll say I'm not going to kill him on it because everybody makes a bad pass or a mistake. But the pass that bothered me the most was the one where he was under pressure getting hit and he just chucked the ball up in the air. That to me is the most ill-advised throw you can make. Unless there's 10 seconds left in the game, it's the last play of the game and you're losing and you just have to throw it up. But like in that situation, that was very bad decision-making. I don't care what the result of the play was. You don't just throw the ball up in the air. And that's just a check down.
Bring that back. Was that pressure?
I think he just may have missed it. Let's look. Oh, there's pressure. There's pressure. And look at the pass, way off.
Okay,
and no one's saying it's easy. No one's saying it's easy to make that play with that much pressure. No one's claiming that.
Looking, and look what he does. Okay, it's a positive outcome in college. You need to be able to turn your head, Jeremy.
Yeah. That was nice.
A nice slant right in front of him, protect the top.
Right. He's going to break out of that. This is what, for college football, that's what makes him really good. If you give him open space, he's going to eat you alive. That was almost intercepted.
That's the 5th one, right?
Yeah, that was almost intercepted. Wide open guy.
Nice touch play right in front of him, correct?
Yes.
Protected pocket, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you see the story that we're telling?
Well, I like the idea that when we watched the highlight film, we saw 4 or 5 plays against this team. So we're all thinking, look how amazing he is. But then when you watch the whole game, you see, look, it's not every he's not just lighting him up. I mean, he's like look, anytime he's under pressure, he's getting sacked or he's like it's not all peaches and cream with this kid. When he's under pressure, he's making horrendously bad passes. I mean, and I agree that and for anybody that's saying, yeah, well, most quarterbacks, if you put them under pressure, they don't look too good. That's why most quarterbacks can't make it in the NFL. Because yes, that's true. It's really hard, and very few quarterbacks could handle pressure. That's why there's not many that are that succeed.
Now, you got to put it in pause one more time. We got to talk about pressure here, okay? We watched. We're in the third year of, and we did highlights. Okay, obviously they might have missed some highlights. Correct. We saw one quality pressure throw on the type of throw that he likes to make. Okay, he likes that short vertical type throw. 20 yards, 25 yards. We saw one, Jeremy. Okay, we're not seeing anticipation throws. We are not seeing anything resembling an anticipation throw. We're not seeing throwing a receiver open other than his throw of choice, which he loves. Okay, we're not seeing quarterbacky things. That's a new word that we're going to coin.
Quarterbacky things.
Right. We're not seeing things that make him an NFL quarterback. I'm sorry. I do see somebody that works hard, okay? But this one read coming from the conference that he was originally in, that's not, who was like that from the same conference?
Oh.
Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Do you want to waste a pick in the first round to a kid that you might be able to hide his deficiencies under a certain system?
No.
Right. This is why we're doing this, okay? As a New York Jet GM, I am not touching this kid coming into, okay? We're not seeing the strong arm throws, Jeremy, big time, all the time. Well, what happened there?
He threw a bad pass.
How bad was that, though? What happened?
Let's look. He had an okay pocket. He just made a horrible throw.
Okay. I mean, he's human. He makes mistakes, correct?
Definitely. Like, we're going to see that every game from every quarterback. You're going to see some bad throws. Whoa, that was almost an interception. Oh.
That was pressure. Look at that. You see that throw?
Yeah.
Okay. It's pressure, but the guy's standing right in front of you.
Right.
There's a lot of danger signs, Jeremy. Are you seeing it, or is it only?
No, I see that definitely the tunnel vision, the looking one way. Like, that's a nice pass, but remember, he told the defense what he was doing with that pass. Like in other words, you have to think you can do that a couple of times in the NFL, and that's fine. But how much is that? You're only going to get away with that a certain amount. Like, look where he's looking. As soon as he gets the ball, look where he's looking. As soon as he gets the ball, look where he's looking. Okay? In the NFL, they're going to see that. They're going to see him looking there. Right? The receiver pushed off the defender for sure. You see how the defender went flying off of him? I mean, I'm not saying they should have called a penalty because it may have been like both ways the contact, but the receiver pushed himself open and makes the play. But I have a little concern about that because he didn't sell it at all. He was just looking that direction so blatantly. I mean, fine, you can get away with that once or twice, but you're not gonna. That's not gonna be a weapon of his in his career. Like, no quarterback's gonna get away with that. pressure. He was looking one way. He doesn't go down easily, and he doesn't go down. He gets the ball away. Good athletic play, not going to work in the NFL consistently. Right? I mean, it's just, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying in the NFL, it's not going to work.
You're also looking for, you're not seeing more than one of a certain thing, Jeremy. Right? You understand?
Right. Yeah.
We saw the one nice pressure throw.
And that's it.
We saw him break a tackle just now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing multiples, Jeremy.
Right. Right.
The arm talent part, we do not see one throw to the deep outside of the field, Jeremy, on any type of outs.
Right.
You're not seeing a high amount of layered throws, right? Seam throws above and in front of somebody, correct?
Correct.
Not at all, right?
Not at all.
All right. I'm sorry, we can't take this.
Yeah. Well, so at least just not in the first round. I mean, I don't think we're going to make a second, third round quarterback pick. I don't see that being the thing. If this was the right year for a quarterback, or if there's a quarterback the Jets love, it's you're picking for the first round, right? If the Jets make a move for a quarterback, it's a first round pick. Like that's what they're going to do. I think that I personally am hoping it doesn't happen this year because unless it's Drew Aller, but I don't think Drew Aller is coming out. The only way I think if Drew Aller does come out of school, I think realistically, if he doesn't get the hype, if they're still projecting him to be a second round guy, then I think the move is to trade back, get tons of picks, pick him and then pick him, and then use all those extra picks to build a team around them so he'll succeed.
This is the best situation a drafted quarterback would be coming to the Jets right now because they seem to have a little bit of an offensive line growing.
Yeah.
They have 3 running backs. They have a good receiver regardless, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You could support him a lot quicker than any other Jet quarterback that they drafted in the past. Who knows how long? Going back to the one you talked about, Sanchez, he was really supported his first 2 years.
Yeah, Sanchez was like the most supported quarterback we've ever had.
He may have been the most supported quarterback in history, actually.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean, he had a great running game. He had an incredible offensive line, and he had an incredible defense. He had all the makings of a quarterback who could be a winning game manager quarterback.
Okay, now another question. We saw 2 quarterbacks so far. Is there anything that Cam Ward could do that Aller cannot?
I think they're different types of runners, but I think Aller is more of a power runner when he has to run and take off. But for the most part, as quarterbacks, I'm not seeing anything. I don't know how you could watch Drew Aller and watch Cam Ward and say that Cam Ward is making any kind of throw that Drew Aller doesn't make. There's not one pass that Cam Ward can make or is making that we do not have film of Drew Aller making.
Okay, next question. Who's better under pressure?
Drew Aller.
By how much?
By a mile. He's so much better under pressure because he plays under pressure all the time. Penn State is playing the type of schools. I don't know. The competition's stiff. The film we're looking at, he's under pressure all the time. He's playing Ohio State. He's playing Michigan. He's playing Wisconsin. He's playing Minnesota in Minnesota. He's under constant pressure.
Okay.
Notre Dame.
The better supporting cast compared to the competition.
Well, he does. Ward has that crazy receiver, Repsport, whatever his name is. Drew Aller has a tight end that's good. That's it. He has no wide receivers.
Right. Even looking just at the highlight throws, how many big time highlight throws did you see from Drew Aller? Like absolutely incredible throws.
A bunch.
Right.
Just incredible.
Who has the stronger arm? Let's go there.
Come on. Drew Aller's arm is so much stronger.
Right.
mean, we know that. I mean, anybody who doesn't know that, if like you're going in and you don't know that Drew Aller would walk into the NFL and be a top 5 arm strength quarterback, then you're just not paying attention. Then you're just not involved. Like if anybody has any question about Drew Aller's arm strength, he is top 5 NFL quarterback arm strength the day he gets drafted.
Right. So on the comparison thing, I can't see not taking Drew Allen. I can't if he's available in the thing. He's going up the draft board as we speak. I told you that. What's the guy's name that I sent you? Dan Hugler or something? What's his name?
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's definitely going first rounds, and we'll see how far up the board he goes. If he comes out, he's going first rounds. There's no way that people aren't going to see the tape that we're seeing. You know, obviously he plays for Penn State. I think he's going to have the same nonsense that J.J. McCarthy had. Like, I think it's going to be the same nonsense. People are looking at just stat lines. They're not going to look at situation. They're not going to look at the type of offense the players around they don't look at anything. They just look at box scores, highlights, box scores. That's all they look at. And for that reason, you're going to see these guys go ahead of Drew Aller. There's no question about it. He reminds me most, I mean, and I'm not saying he's as good as him because people go nuts if you do a player comp, but I think the player comp for him is Josh Allen for sure.
Right. He felt exactly like the guy.
Yeah. I mean, like that's like again, I'm not saying he's going to be Josh Allen because guaranteeing or saying that any college quarterback is going to be a top 2, top 3 MVP type quarterback is stupid, right? I mean, we're not doing that. But if you're going to do a player comp, like what's his style? Who does he look like what his skill sets? It's definitely Josh Allen. He's got a rocket arm. He throws at different speeds. He handles the pressure. He can run well with the ball. He's very mobile. He's very good in the pocket, like with his feet, good feet work. I mean, and he makes every throw on the route tree, just like Josh Allen.
Okay, now let's talk about statistics because I heard people say that box scores and statistics.
People are saying, what pick do I think we're going to get? I don't know because we're a stupid organization that might rattle off 4 meaningless wins. But if I had to guess right now, I'd say we're somewhere between 8, 9, or 10.
The only move for the Jets is to take Aller. And I guarantee you, I'll make you a pizza bet. You ready, me and you?
Yeah.
Okay, who pays for pizza next time in New York? That's the thing, after the draft, okay?
Okay. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what.
You're ready.
Okay. But I'll tell you what. If Drew Aller does not stay in school and he comes out in that draft and the Jets take him, 75% of the Jets fan base is going to be livid angry. And every mistake this kid makes as a rookie, they're going to call him a bust. He's going to have to deal with the most toxic fan base in the world. So he's going to have to be more than talented. He's going to have to be mentally strong because he will be one of the most unpopular picks if we pick him. Because I'm telling you, this fan base is in love with Sanders and Ward. They're in love with the Flash or Milroe, whatever that guy's name is. They love the big school guys. And after Zach Wilson coming from BYU, they're not going to see the difference that we're seeing in the tape. They're just going to say he's another Zach Wilson. That is exactly what they're going to say. I know they're wrong, and they'll be proven wrong. But just get ready because you and me are going to be under a lot of fire if the Jets take him. A lot of fire.
My pizza bet. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Here's your pizza bet. All right.
Now, this is it. If the Giants have the number 1 pick in the draft and Drew Aller comes out of this draft, he's not going past 1. This is Dabo, the coach of the Giants, if he is still there, is going to look at this kid and say, Josh Allen, okay, the guy that I had in Buffalo, and he's going to run to the podium. Now, the problem with the Giants is everybody's trying to recreate Josh Allen. But if you look at, there's another kid coming out this year. His name starts with an N. I forget his name. Newberger or something. What's his name?
I don't know.
Okay, there's another guy that might sneak it to the top. You had Daniel Jones. You see how he's doing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They're 1-read quarterbacks. in college.
Mhm.
End of story. That doesn't work, Jeremy. You can't project that into the pros. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So
if the Giants pick one and they pick Drew Allure, he comes out of college and they pick him, I will be shocked. Like, I will be shocked. But I'll also be like, holy cow, it's going to happen again. The Jets are going to suck and the Giants are going to get good again. It's going to happen again. Like, if they pick him, it'll be the smartest thing, but it would be a shock because it depends on where he's ranked. You have to be able to read the other GMs. Like, if he's ranked to go or projected to go anywhere from like 10 to 30 first round, and you got the first round pick, and you know that the other teams want to take Sanders and Ward and those other guys, you have to trade down. You can't turn down all that free asset. You'll get the same guy anyway, but you'll get like another, first and second round pick. Like, you have to say yes to that. But if you think there's any risk or chance that somebody's going to trade up in front of you and grab Drew Aller, then you can't do it. You can't take the risk. You have to grab him. You have to grab your guy. You can't take a chance because you'll regret it forever.
Next week? Van Dyke or Sanders?
Oh, well, who do you want to look at? Let's look at Van Dyke.
Next week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing, I'm going to give you a little tip going ahead on Sanders. Do you know who led the country in sacks in 24, I think, 23? Oh, it's a trick question. We're talking about Sanders, right?
Right.
Right. He holds the ball way too long, Jeremy.
So you're saying Sanders was sacked more than any other quarterback in the Pac-10?
Yeah, he's all the way up there. Yes.
Or Pac-12, okay.
Okay, we're going to take a hard look at that. Obviously, it shows you, he needs a line. But we're going to take a hard look at Sanders.
So we're going to take a Jeff Ulbrich long, hard look.
Yeah, he's been doing that a little bit too much. The quarterback you're going to love, Jeremy, is also after Aller, is Jackson Dart. You feel it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm good, bud.
You're good?
How's your comments doing?
It's okay. Wild Wave's here. What's going on, Wild Wave? We got Sean McAteer here. What's going on, buddy? There's people coming. He's saying we got a lot of teams with the same win. Yeah. It's hard to know where we're going to pick. But I think we got to wrap it up. Look, I think Cam Ward is a great athlete. I think he's a very good college quarterback. I have nothing against this kid. I think if I was a football team looking for, like last year when we took a guy, like if a football team, if he was to slip, or if I was a GM and he was sitting there maybe in the second round or the third round, I'm fine, like, considering picking him. If I have the number 8 pick in the draft, I'm not taking Cam Ward, and that's just, that's my assessment of it.
And I'm right there with you, bud.
Yeah.
Okay, so same time next week, maybe we'll do something on how to draft a quarterback if we have time before that.
All right, we'll try to figure something out, but we'll be back every week. And everybody, take care of yourself, and it's been a pleasure.
Okay, take care.
Take care. Oh yeah! Go! Amazing! That's my boy! That's my boy!
He breaks away from a sack and completes the pass for first down.
Kittle just may have made the most amazing catch.
He fights for the first down and gets out of bounds too.
It's no good. Overtime. Oh, what a catch! How do you drop that? What are you, Jamal Adams? Touchdown!
This is a touchdown!